All right, so in this lesson, we're going to learn how to use Facebook in order to give us some more insight into our audiences. And the good thing about having insight into your target audience is that it'll make it a lot easier for you to write content. And also, the content will be more relatable, I should say, and relevant to them, which hopefully means that they'll engage more and pay attention more and go ahead and do the calls of actions you tell them to take, such as clicking on your course link. So all you want to do is go to your just facebook.com. That'll bring you up to your personal Facebook page. Then you're going to click this little down arrow and we're going to go into manage ads. And from there, we're going to give it a second to load, and we're going to come up here and click on the three lines, which is going to give us a few more options. And we're going to go to all tools down here, which opens up even more options. And we're looking for something called audience insights. Okay, and what we want to do to start with using audience insights is we want to go in, we're going to try to go in a little bit broad, and then you can start narrowing down from there. So pretty much the first two options it gives you is everyone on Facebook or people connected to your page. So if you got a lot of people following you on your Facebook page and you want to kind of read who they are, their demographics, what they're interested in, that sort of stuff, even their job titles, then you would go ahead and click on that. But for now we're doing research, so we're just going to click on everyone on Facebook. And the very first thing we're going to do is come up here and we're going to select the region that we're going to be targeting in general. So again, although I live in Canada, there's a lot more people in the US, and I'm going to likely have a much higher audience of students from people in the US, like I have with my past courses. So my past courses likely did get attention from all over the world, students from all over the world, but majority, you're always safe targeting the US. So let's go ahead and just target the US for now. You're going to keep your age range general for now. Even if you think you know what your exact target age range is, just keep it general because you might be surprised. And let Facebook tell you the data. Because again, Facebook has got like millions of users, and the data it's pulling up is based on research industries data, so it's pretty precise. So this is one of the best free tools you can use in order to get exact insight on your specific demographic. Okay, so keep that pretty broad. Don't pick men or women yet. Just keep all of this pretty darn broad, unless you very clearly have your product is definitely for all men or all women. But even so, people buy stuff for each other and whatever. So just keep it broad. Is safe. But you're going to start with your interest. And with your interest, again, you're going to just start broad, and then we can narrow down from there. So we're going to use this, it's good to use it a few times until you start seeing patterns and until you're very comfortable with the data you're getting. So let me just pick a broad topic. So let's say again, you're doing something for pets. So let's pick cats this time. So let's do cats. So I would just go in and just pick cats in general and type that in. And then if I type in cats again, I want to see what Facebook is recommending as options. Now, if you know some options, so if you're in a category like me in digital marketing, and you know for a fact that everybody pretty much in digital marketing follows Michael Stilzner is really big. So if you know for sure that Michael Stilzner is somebody's audience you would want, you type his name in here. Or you could just let Facebook tell you what it thinks are related categories. So if I type in cats, this thing called Must Love Cats, Happy Cats, the musical, we know definitely we're not after the people who want musical. If we're in a cat business, let's say I'm teaching a course on how to train your cat or something, right? So funny cats, maybe entertainment, okay? Cats protection or kitty cats. So I'm just kind of curious to know what this Must Love Cats is or the Happy Cats. So let's see what Must Love Cats is. So it's good. So in general, what you want to do is pick your broad category, but then you want to pick what people in that industry are pretty likely to follow. So if you have any trending names in your industry, like authority figures or magazines or TV shows or just anything that the bulk of people in your industry would be following, start there. Okay. I'm just put cats in general just so I can start getting ideas. So again, if you're not sure what the main categories are you should be starting with, just put in something exceptionally broad, like just put in your topic like I did, which is cats. So Must Love Cats is an Animal Planet television series. Okay, so does that, and I guess this guy just specializes in cats. Okay, so I guess if I'm a cat lover, which I am, I never knew this existed, but now I might go check it out just for kicks, right? So that could be a good one. And what we want to do is as we're adding things, so here under cats category, look up here, see how big this audience is. You want to make sure this is huge, a huge number. If you type something in and the audience is only a few thousand people, pick something broader, go broader, okay? So cats, and let me do that, Must Love Cats, and see if that number changes at all. Nope, it's still very broad. Okay, so I'm going to just pick these two things to go in with right now. And I'm going to start reading my audience data. So pretty much the top part is great because it'll let me know, is it mostly men or women, right? And it gives you the percentages. And what we're looking at here, Facebook does blue graphs, like you can see the blue and then you can see the gray. And what the difference is like the blue is pretty much what your interest category that you put in is representing. And the gray is comparing it to everybody else on Facebook. So I'll explain that again a little bit in a second. But for now, you can just get a general idea. So the majority of people who love cats is going to be women, but there's still some men, so we don't want to exclude them. Then in general, mostly it's 25 to 34-year-olds. But again, when you're starting, if you're using this data to do a Facebook ad or to figure out how to do your Facebook ad, go in broad in general to start. There are other ways when you do your ad to see how you can narrow it down. Now, if it's like 55% and this is only 10%, then I clearly would just go after this age category. But here, it's just kind of like people all across the board love cats. So I would, if I was doing a Facebook ad, I would keep it at 18 to 65 and then start reading my actual data within my Facebook ad and start narrowing down from there. Okay. Here, men a little bit different. Like men, it's very clear that the 25 to 34-year-old, like the 30% of men in that age category are cat lovers, and then 20% in this age category. So if I was doing a Facebook ad, and even some here, right? So you could do a Facebook ad where you're targeting 25 to 54-year-old for men, and then you would go women, 18 to 65 plus or whatever. And that's, it's getting a little bit smaller there, but it depends if you're just starting off or not. But if you're starting off with Facebook ads, just try to keep it broad to start because you want to reach larger numbers, keep your costs down, and then you let data tell you how to narrow things down. And if you're using this just to know who your audience is to talk to in general or advertise anywhere else, then you're just making notes, right? Okay, so let's see. If relationship status is important to what you're doing, then, you can see how many people are married, how many people are single. You can see their level of education, which might be helpful to you. And down here, you can see their job titles. So again, the blue graph represents your current audience based on the interest you put in. The gray is compared to everybody else on Facebook. So if you see something where there's a ton more people in the blue graph than in the gray graph, that could indicate something interesting to you as well, right? And that'll so if I know the majority of cat lovers are, in the administrative services, then when I'm thinking about what to write on my blog posts or social media, I could kind of consider that, right? But it's not exceptionally related to cats. So it was just an example, but I wouldn't go out of my way to do something like that. Just something to note. But if you're in an industry where it's definitely relevant, the jobs that people are in, then you definitely want to pay attention. Okay, but I'm going to show you what you mostly want to pay attention to is this thing here called page likes. So what page likes does at the beginning, it shows you the top categories of what people within this interest are interested in. So this is where you're going to get your other ideas to go in a little bit more specific, or if you're doing a Facebook ad, to start popping in different interests within your Facebook ad. But make sure it's relevant. So if I'm doing something like pet cat training specifically, a course on that. And even though I know most people who love cats also love this thing called I Love My Dog, it's not going to be related, and it might confuse Facebook and my Facebook ad, because the trick with Facebook ads is the more specific you are to Facebook about who you're going after as your target audience, the more it's going to help you target that target audience for you. So just look at what's relevant and what relates. So I Love My Dog, not really. This boutique, I don't know what the boutique does, but probably not. Betty Crocker, I don't think they do. I don't know if they make pet food, but maybe I'd look into that a little bit more. Well, I know obviously they make people food, but I don't know if they also have a pet food line. Maybe that's why they're coming up, is all I'm saying. But let's see what is relevant. Like something like Coca-Cola doesn't really relate to cats, I don't think. But this does. Look at this, the animal rescue site. So then I would go ahead and make a note that people who are interested in cats are very heavily interested in an animal rescue site. And so as I'm building my course, I might do something like a portion of all proceeds is going to go to the animal rescue site, right? And of course I would investigate them first and see what they're all about and make sure they're in line with my ideals and whatever. But if that's something you want to support, it's something you do, that the majority of cat lovers are going to recognize what the animal rescue site is, and they're going to resonate with that, and it's a really nice thing and a nice gesture to do. So that's one way that doing this research is going to give me a really good idea of how to market my course, right? And you could always try things that are different. So you could, depending on who these are, if it's a charity site, you could always call them and just say, you know what, I've got an online course on how to train cats. I want to support your organization and give a portion of all my sales to you guys. In turn, could you promote my course through one of your pages or whatever? You never know. The worst thing they're going to do is say no. But can you imagine having a big established site like that promoting your course? I'm just saying, something to lock away is a good idea, right? So let's see what else relates. Okay, so nothing here really relates except for the site. So what I would do, the animal rescue site, so definitely make a note of that. And then we're going to just come down and look at page likes. So page likes here, so remember we talked about affinity. So this is how much more likely people are who have this interest to be liking whatever's on the left here compared to everybody else on Facebook. So if this is a huge number, you really going to want to pay attention, right? So this thing called Big Lots, I Love My Dogs there again. Sometimes they're the same things as up here, sometimes they're not. But let's have a look. Veteran site, Betty Crocker again. So nothing super related. Pillsbury, I hope it's not really related to cat, unless your cat looks like a Pillsbury Doughboy. I mean, you can make a funny cartoon on that, because cat lovers somehow really love Pillsbury. So there you go. You could do something humorous like that, and it might, get some laughs and relate to some people there. So, but that would be okay. So we've got pretty much from doing all that research, we got one thing we can narrow down side, the animal rescue site. So then what you would do is come back to interest, and then you would type in the animal rescue site, and then you start looking into that audience and seeing, and just take out must love cats and take out cats, and we're just going to look at this audience now. Okay, so this audience, what are they interested in? And then you start looking, it's like, okay, well, Purina and PetSmart and all these other things that are more related to cats. So then, you're going to start making notes. But here, look, here's another one. Best Friends Animal Society. So people who are into the animal rescue site are interested in that, or are also interested in Best Friends Animal Society. So that could be your next interest keyword that you put in. And you're building, again, you're just making notes and you're building a list of your interests. So when you go to do your Facebook ad, you know what to pop in, and it's going to be a lot easier for you. But you're also getting an idea of what your audience is like. So these people, what do they care about, and what is it about the sites, and what's related? Like, what else are they interested in, and what else can I start talking about, or even giving, if you want to do a prize. Oh, look, I should do like a gift certificate to PetSmart. Okay, so everybody who, watches all of my course, and, well, you can't really bribe people to leave a review, but you could You could say anybody who answers this question by this date gets a gift certificate to PetSmart, and you know they're all going to resonate and understand what that is, because data is showing you that people who are interested in the cat category, who are also interested in animal rescue sites, which is a high percentage of them, are also interested in PetSmart. So that's how you would kind of use this data to get other marketing ideas, but also, again, to start getting ideas of the types of things you should be talking about and writing about and all that kind of fun stuff. So cats, again, was a very broad category, but I hope it kind of gives you an idea of how to start breaking it down. Like even if I wanted to just go in with marketing, internet marketing or digital marketing, you know, I would, because maybe I don't know who the top names are. Like I know who I follow, but I don't know who everybody else, the majority of people are following in digital marketing. So I would go in and see what, oops, let me just do that again. So first of all, I would go in here and see what else comes up as suggestions. Marketing digital, I don't know what that is, marketingdigital.com. So I would look at what .br, I would look at what that is. But otherwise, I would just come into this general page like category. It's like, okay, well, Gary Vaynerchuk, yeah, obviously, I think everybody loves him, but us marketers probably do more, right? There are people in digital marketing. So if I want to do a course on digital marketing, you know, Gary V would definitely be somebody I would want to talk about or make note of or use. Start targeting his target audience when I'm doing my Facebook ad. And that is pretty much how much fun you can have with this. So it's just another tool that won't cost you anything, that is going to give you a heck of a lot of data. Because like, look at all this stuff like Entrepreneur Magazine and Dave Ramsey, and I'm not quite sure who Dave Ramsey is. I probably should. But, you know, Success Magazine, ooh, that would be a really good audience to go after and totally related. Shopify, you know, a lot of people in digital marketing also look up how to do Shopify or e-commerce stores. So all of that is giving me data and information and just stuff I can use to do safe marketing. So I'm not guessing, I'm letting data tell me what I should be writing and talking about. So I hope you see the value in that. I hope it makes a lot of sense for you. Hope you have fun playing around with this. And then you can, of course, go in deeper too. So if you want to start targeting by location, you could click on location and just see, well, everyone who's interested in digital marketing, where are they most likely to live? And, you know, you can start targeting states that way. And start getting a little bit more specific on your targeting. All right, so go ahead, play with this tool as well. Have some fun with it. Go in deep and see what you come up with. And good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. And I look forward to talking to you guys in the next lesson.